Seattle.
Yeah, Will Campbell is just not going to be able to hold up here very long, and Marcus Lawrence is that force.
Shakir's supposed to chip him, and he actually pushes him.
But he doesn't help him at all. You see him, the one thing, these guys do a great job of chipping.
For Justin Herbert, he said, what else could possibly happen to me in the playoff? For Justin Herbert, you talk about seeing ghosts. They're not ghosts anymore. They're sledgehammers.
It's just a great job by the front of Denver.
Sacks, 2 forced fumbles, and that's the 4th fumble of the game for Drake May and his 2nd time.
For a routine sack, they have 2 guys out there, Witherspoon.
It's unlike really any other defense in the league. They just line up, they show you.
Left side where the 2 rookies reside. This time, Jared Wilson, the guard, is going to have him.
And this coverage has 2, and Joey Bosa splits 2, maybe even 3 guys and disrupts the play. And that's why they got Joey Bosa this offseason, Jim.
Booker is really the end that has come on here in this second half. Montez Sweat gets a lot of attention, but Booker with the length.
Darnold has no idea that he's kind of tracking him down with that type.
Is going on here. Right inside of McClendon, who's really been playing well. He often gets knocked right back into the quarterback, and Derek Hall, one of the more powerful pass rushers for Seattle. And you could tell that Drake May was looking over his shoulder just a little bit. He knows the weakness on that left side.
But a Houston Texan never actually touches him. That's what you call collapse in the pocket.
You're getting your quarterback hit here as Benito comes off the
play at a pivotal time for the Green Bay defense. He works to the outside. You see Rashawn Gary to the inside, and that little.
Yeah, he doesn't go for it. It's a little play action, try to get him out. And I don't know, I always preferred plays where we block the defensive tackles. Those didn't work out very well for me either, Sam. Don't worry. You're not alone in this fight.
These guys believe in finding ways to win games in the second half. Despite how poorly things went in the first half, they do not give up, and there's Sweat, who's been their guy. The leader of this defensive front has to be able to make a play when it matters. Gets to the inside,
and these 2 guys that combined for 27 sacks forced this 3rd and long.
Yeah, Danielle Hunter, you can see this spin move that he puts on Troy Fautanu, and Rodgers saw that one coming as well. And at his age now, he's not going to outrun anybody. There was a time he would have been able to get out of the pocket.
Enagbari has great twitch. Somebody's got to step up on the edge of this defense without
their creativity on the defensive side that really saved that drive.
The Seattle defense attack. They get so many people around the football.
On the field, these 2 guys, when they're on the same side of the field together, very difficult. They're stacked in there against.
Now, and it's going to go as a sack as there's no gain on the play, and Big 55 had a full head of steam.
He sure did. And Drake May, when you look at his body of work.
And without Micah Parsons, who's going to be able to get home without blitzing? This time it's Rashawn Gary from the blind side working on that rookie left tackle.
When you're worried about Jared Verse and Byron Young, and they decide not to block Poona Ford.
The block Chase on, and Darnold's going to have to realize that's his. Very close indeed. Now you're getting down to that time in the game, you know, Mike, where you're in the playoffs, you lose and you go home for one. Drake May is that he will step up into the pocket. So watch Oweh as he comes up and then circles back under. You can anticipate the fact that Drake May is going to step up, jump in there, and come up with that sack.
You're a man.
Sure on Allen here. Yeah, and it's coming from Allen. It's a TT.
Caleb saw it, so he said, all right, I'm going to throw the quick screen out there. But they ended up dropping out Byron Young, who, believe it or not, one of the leading sackers in the league.
Doesn't even get started into the defense. One-on-one with Goddard. Huff just blocked destruction right to the middle.
Almost backfired in a big way.
Well, this is why you go out and get a guy like Hufanga. He's like, wait a sec, something sniffy here. Boom.
I'm sorry, coming off the slot, and as C.J. Stroud, he
at the feet, and once again, we're talking about Will Campbell getting.
third down.
Yeah, he does a nice job here of timing his blitz up perfectly. See the right tackle, Jordan Morgan, not enough time.
Tough play in which Tartt's going to go out and knock the tackle to hopefully give his outside edge player a play. But because he's right up on him, now he's at a direct line to the quarterback. Those little pick plays are so tough on offensive line.
This is a screen pass to the left, so we're actually going to allow them to go by a little bit. But at this point, you got to throw.
Had a knee early in the year in a Buffalo preseason game. Watch him collapse down. Eyes on the quarterback. So instead of
I saw Stidham. He likes to drop back pretty deep on these third downs. He gets to that 10-yard mark and then has to get out of the pocket. And you see why New England has been so dominant.
Jalen Phillips on the bottom of the screen on McKivitz. That inside move is nothing Purdy can do there. Tries to evade it. And
position to come across and help out, make a play, and yet Chaison's just able to go right by him. He's not able to get squared up on him, and C.J. Stroud just has no opportunity to even move. It's just not good technique. And boy, what a year he has had.
And every Texan fan is thinking about the timeout. Marks, after a big day, has been able to do nothing in this game.
No, Christian Barmore, he's excellent. And, you know, he's part of that duo that I was talking about with him, with Barmore
on the field. Everything.
Oh,
tips. How about?
Yeah, Togiai, he has really had a year. And you see what he's able to do here. He just gets right back into the back.
Rush to win today. They can't overextend themselves in blitz packages. Too many guys to cover out in these routes.
You're going to see Milano today, and you should have had a little bit more time with the four-man pass rush, but we saw this last week against Houston.
D. Winters beating Bradford, the right guard. Bradford just late coming off on the double team block. Can't climb to the second level.
Brought back the design quarterback run. This time you had two Bill defenders, so he couldn't go get Shaq Thompson. He had to go to the corner.
Now Riley Mills going to get it in on the act, and another rookie he's attacking, Jared Wilson. So it has been that left side of the offensive line that we anticipated having problems. I just don't think that New England can continue to try to run.
He's actually going to end up being on the edge. So you're going to actually have to hit the backside tight end and then actually use him as a catapult to get.
You're going to see the pressure inside by Milton Williams, but they put so many people up around the line of scrimmage. You could hear Sam Darnold go, can. So they had a run play on, but they were so stacked in there, they forced him to throw, got the big sack. That was brilliant.
Well, I want you to watch the edge rushers. This was going to be the reason why it's a tough matchup for New England. Some teams.
And it was good enough. And now the Chicago Bears and Caleb Williams.
Well, you're going to see the pressure. You put all these guys up in here, make it look like everyone's coming, then you end up just rushing four. But that speeds Drake Mason, turn the clock up. I thought he had a chance.
Calf, he's the one who's trying to pick him up, but he hits it. He doesn't get square to the line of scrimmage. Petrie right there to make the play.
Down the field on him, so they're going to stack that line of scrimmage. If you want to throw.
And you're going to find, here comes Milano. It's going to create a free rusher because they only have 5 linemen blocking here, and I don't like that call.
It's nothing that's, phenomenal here. It's just a bunch of power rushes. Landman over Halani.
He's going to come up and then loop back underneath to end up with this forced fumble. And remember, Mike, this is a 4-man rush. One of the reasons that Drake becoming a nightmare, they're getting people here and here, and they're just jumping inside. He's trying to go down underneath, and those guys are just taking them. But this guy is a little fire plug, and he just fires. Anytime he thinks he sees something, he is sprinting to the ball, and pretty much this defense.
From the left side of the screen right here, they miss time on the boot, and nobody accounts for him. That's where Darnold has to.
I mean, if you look, there's no receiver. That's offensive lineman out there playing tight end. The other side of wide receivers, Josh McDaniels versus Vance Joseph, the defensive coordinator.
Had they let the play go,
it's a touchdown,
and they didn't blow the whistle, New England would already be in the end zone with the touchdown on that turn.
Here's Landman right there, and for Tooney, maybe this is one of those times they just had not worked that play that much, right? Operation time when your free safety is going to have to cross the line of scrimmage and try and make these plays. They simply have no other choice at this point. A couple more first downs, and this one's over.
You've got the pressure off the edge with Will Anderson, and then Rankins comes here, and he goes right through left guard Sayamalu. I mean, this is a two-man rush on that left side, and both guys get home. In a close ball game, the defense, as you would expect.
Can't believe the amount of success they're having off the edge here, because the Rams got a good look at it off of that tape last week. Just nowhere to go for Matthew Stafford. A quick glance that way and just missed the blitzer. He never saw him coming. He took one glance and saw it very late, and it was too late for Matthew Stafford.
The knee, but there was nowhere for Stroud to go.
Well, they look like they're going to come in the gaps here. They pull out and they rush 4, and he would have had to have just taken off immediately, but with a 4-man rush, they collapse it on top of him. And again, I hate to be repetitive, but the safeties continue to just sit. And take a look at Togiai and just the presence and awareness that he has as a defensive lineman, recognizing exactly what's happening. They're trying to run the screen against him.
And then the stunt up front. Hines Allen, who has been incredible.
I've been there as a quarterback. You're just feeling it. You don't feel like you've got time by Matt Burke, and they're going to bring the pressure. You see where Will Anderson is. They bring the edge pressure, and here's where Drake May has improved this year.
He's the one downfield or back near his own end zone to get on the fumble, and here's the play by Hunter.
Great play by Hunter. It looked like Hunter might have had a chance to get it after it came out, and rather than fall on it, it looked like he was trying to pick it up initially. Yeah, he just not quite, and then he went to go get it and still wasn't able to quite ball on the ground, and he just is not securing the football. It's the second time he's put it on the ground. He's been fortunate to get it back, but then
see him right here. When they try to run that ball kind of east and west, and they challenge Ed a bunch, he's probably the fastest guy on the team. Working on Sundell, the center, here they are. This is just their own version of block disruption. Just destroys it straight to the middle of the...
He thinks it's man-to-man, but Hufanga right here is going to go out in zone. Good changeup. They ran zone, and they ran a man play where everyone's running across the field. Could ill afford, as you see Shaq shoot the gap right away. If that's play action, you're going to get beat right behind you.
Well, Dylan Cook, number 60, you're going to see, Joe, that's who Aaron Rodgers trips over. He kind of gets pushed back as he goes right there on the left foot. Because there was a time, DK Metcalf on the left side of the screen here, you're going to see him. He gets up on top, and there's a chance. I mean, they're going to try to get the ball down the field, but Daniil Hunter. Jack Sawyer saves a touchdown because he had a chance for Jaden Higgins. There's the
rolling on the field and the fumble.
And Jared Wilson knew that his guy was the one that was going to be coming late, and there it goes. That's one of the better fumble recoveries I think I've ever seen from an offensive lineman, and you don't want to give him too much glory because it was him and getting the pressure and ultimately the sack. But that's not what happened on this play. This is a coverage sack. And these Chargers receivers have got to find a way to get open down the field.
Pressure percentage, one of the top 10 in the league, and Russo, who had 7 sacks on the season, gets one here.
Yeah, and this is a coverage sack because the Milano effect, you're going to see the motion's going to come across. He's going to shift all the way over and just shoot the gap.
Yeah, in his 4th year out of Georgia, again, just gets better and better. Jeff Hafley, kind of an extension of the defensive coordinator. Good time to blitz.
Get it into third and medium. So after he makes the first guy miss, just get north and south. Right, so there he makes just the Puna forward there. Great effort coming out of the stack. And
now play caller for the Texans. Here's the pressure.
Yeah, Troy Fautanu, the right tackle, he just whiffs. I mean, he comes out, and Daniil Hunter takes an inside.
Well, coming into the game, we talked, you got to have a plan for the play-action pass. It's the best play-action team in football. It's actually the best thing Carolina does. You have all 3 timeouts. You can throw the ball anywhere on the field. Just get this ball out of your hand. Take completions.
And they're coming after Lawrence on every single play. But Bosa one-on-one, you'll see at the bottom of the screen, makes Trevor have to throw this ball early. It's just a pocket collapse here, and this is basically with the pressure internal. And Allen wisely gets rid of the ball. I mean, he's played the game correctly. It's just you don't have much time against this Jacksonville team. Because if you're just going to drop back, which means get the snap, drop back to pass, look at how fast Walker gets to Josh Allen.
Yeah.
To pick up the blitz here. But this is what Herbert's going to have to do with this game. And that is quite simply put, he's got to take it in his hands. And there has been time to throw the ball, Mike. This is not.
Let's see who got it.
Yeah, Derek.
That's Autry.
Yeah, Danico Autry, he's the one who's able to get his hands on it. They run a little game up front. Knowing that there's going to be contact, but here's Titus Howard, 71. He gets pushed back into Stroud, and Cam Hayward.
Enough time in pass protection. Smith and Jigba in the backfield. They get enough time for him to kind of stand in the pocket.
Up front, and the second tip ball today by Epinesa. Huge. I don't think that would have gotten the first down anyway. But looks downfield, goes to check it down. And that's 6 straight incompletions now for Bo after starting 5 for 5, even though one of them was a drop in the end zone.
He's sitting pretty flat-footed. There's the middle safety. He was driving on it. This is a ball that, Stroud thinks.
Yeah, they haven't had much today in terms of wins to the middle of the pocket. There's Johnson right there just flushing Darnold.
You just have to sometimes tip your cap to the other team. They were physically tougher and stronger, and mentally they got. This is getting wild right now. It is haymakers being thrown by both defenses, and they just don't seem to care. You don't really care when you end up with one of your edge players out there. He is throwing into tight windows here. That one just barely had enough room. And so far, it has been the pressure of the secondary that really has impressed me. And Darnold's going to take a shot.
This is unbelievable. This is Bonito. He's a pass rusher. He's got to cover Stevenson. And watch right here. If he does a little bit extra and is like, oh, it's a pass, I'm going to go a little bit further. But to have a guy who can rush the passer that way and then go guard the running back on a deep route,